קצת מהטעם של הבלגן שקורה עכשיו. הולכים לעשות את התמונות.
You're on your session. You're gonna go out in the back. Right? How do you want to get to the backyard? Brian, leave.
Come along.
Set? Yeah. After this.
No.
Okay, do you know the pages for everything?
What Give her a second to bring it up.
I don't know if it's a fill-in or just cold outside.
Cold outside.
My pinky in particular is cold.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because the rest of it is covered in leather.
Okay, she's not bringing it up. Okay, fine. So should we begin? Okay. All right, welcome everyone. It's great to have everyone here. Mazel tov to everyone, in particular Mazel tov to Robin. I think that would be good if it was just any other day, but come on, let's give it up, really. Come on. All right, there we go. All right, now we're getting there. Okay, so we're going to begin our service in just a moment. Just want to say hello to everyone on the live stream. Let's clap for everyone on the live stream, okay? Okay, great. So our service is going to begin on page 14, and we're going to be doing silently on our own from page 14 to 28. We're going to do that on our own silently. It's going to be a while till we kick in out loud. And also, I just want to make everyone aware that when you get to page 18, you're going to be using the handout for that part of Birkot HaShachar. There's a page, a little page that's on your chair. So use that part. It's a more egalitarian section of the service, and that's where we're at here, which is a good thing, in my opinion. So when you get to page 18, switch to your handout. So we're going to do it silently now from page 14 to 28, everyone on their own. And when you get to the portion that is for page 18, the handout, you want to stand for that portion. Okay, so we're going to do that silently now for a little while on our own.
I can hear you loud and clear, but it's not being magnified.
It's working. Okay, if you're still reciting that section from page 18, from page 14 to 28, please continue to do so. Take your time. But we're going to continue on to another silent section, and then we're going to come together in a moment. We're going to go now from pages 58 to 60, and that is Baruch She'amar. Then we're going to silently do page 66 to 68. That's Ashrei. And then we're going to conclude on page 82 with the Ishtabach. And then we're going to all come together in a moment after that, and that's where Robin is going to lead us. And everyone should stand for these sections, please. Please rise. And we're just going to give everyone a few moments for this, and then Robin will lead us. Whatever you want. Okay, if you're still reciting this section of the service, please continue to do so. We're now going to come together, though, in a moment on page 82, and Robin is going to lead us in the Chatzi Kaddish. Let's listen carefully to Robin.
Yikada vikadash merah.
Amen.
Amad Barakirtain Machmachete, Bachayehon Uyomechon, Ubachayete Kobit Israel, Bagala, Ubisman Kari Fimro,
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabban Barach Le'olam Olmei Olmaya.
Yeheshme Barach Lalan, Almaya Maya. Vit Barach Vishtabach, Vit Parar, Vituman, Vinasevi, Tadar, Vitalel, Vitalal, Shmei Tukutab,
Brechu.
Lalabri, Minkola, Berta, Shirata, Vatushvachata, Vinechamata, Damiron, Birma, Vimro,
Amen. Page 84, top of the page. Baruch.
Baruch Etanan Barach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai.
You can be seated.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer u'barei hachoshech oseh shalom u'barei hakol.
Keep going.
Ha'meir la'aretz.
Top of page 86. Yifruch Hasela.
Yafruch Hasela.
Tibarach.
Tibrach Tzreinu.
Middle of page 86. V'chulam.
V'chulam potechim epihem betushav tahara v'shira zimra v'barachim v'shavachim v'parim maritzim v'makdishim v'mamlechim.
Bottom paragraph, page 86.
Et Shem ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol ha'gibor v'hanara kadoshu.
V'chulam.
וכולם מקבלים עליהם על מלכות שמיים זה וזה ונותנים רשות זה לזה להקדיש לזרם בנחת רוח בשפה ורוח ונאמר קדישה כולם כאחד עונים ויאמין ברוח.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tziva'ot, Melech ha'aretz kivodo. Top of page 88.
ואפנים וחיות הקדוש ברוך גדול מנסים למט צרפים למתן משקלים ואומרים
Baruch kivod Adonai mimkomo. Second paragraph, page 88.
לאל ברוך
Or Chadash.
אור חדש על ציון תאיר ונזכחו לנו מהרה לארו ברוך אתה אדוני המאיר לארו.
Bottom of page 88. Avarah.
אהבה רבה.
We're at the top of page 90. V'kerev Tana.
בקרב תנו לשמך הגדול סלע באמת לדולך ויחידך באהבה ברוך אתה אדוני הבחר בעמו ישראל באהבה.
We join in the singing of the Shema on the bottom of page 90. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We join in the singing of V'hafta, page 92. V'hafta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam u'vanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'vleftecha b'derech Ushapecha ufkumecha ukshartam liot ayadecha v'hayu totafot beinenecha uktavtam am mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Second paragraph, page 92.
V'haya.
We're reading silently on page 92. Kime.
Kimei hashamayim al haaretz.
Top of page 94. Vayomer.
Vayimru.
Vayomer.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor.
We're reading silently on page 94, the top of the page. Adonai
Lachem emet.
b'yatziv
Vayatziv v'nachon.
l'dor vador.
Vador vador hu kayam.
Yisrael.
Yisrael avtecha.
Bottom paragraph, page 94.
Al harishanim.
Bottom of page 94.
Ein Elohim zu latecha.
Top of page 96.
Ezrat avotenu.
Reading silently on page 96. Middle of page 96.
V'emru chulam.
We join in the singing of Micha Mocha, the middle of page 96. Micha Mocha Ba'elim
Adonai.
Micha Mocha.
Nera b'kodesh. Norate lo dosefele. Shir HaChadash.
Shiruchu Ge'ulim L'Shimcha Al Safat Hayam Yachad Kulam Odelim L'chu V'Yameru.
Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed.
Please rise.
Kur Israel, Kuma Be'ezrat Israel, Nutei Kinmecha Yehuda Be'Israel, Golenu Adonai Tzmo Tzmo, Kadosh Israel.
Baruch. On page 98 through 100, we're going to read the introductory paragraphs of the Amidah together. Then below the line on page 100, Robin will lead us in the Kedusha, and then we will complete the Amidah silently together. Adonai.
Adonai Shabbatatahu Fi Agita Lotecha, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu V'Elohei Avotenu
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el Agadol Gibor Banara, El Yom Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, Mivi Goel Livnei V'neihem, Uman Shemo B'Ava, Melech Ozer Moshiel Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav Oshia, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Tzomech Noflim Berofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishnei Afar, Micha Mocha Bal Gevurot, Umidal Melach, Melech Memidu Mechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'amanat Alachayo Meditim. Below the line, page 100, Robin will lead us in the Kedusha. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzavot, Melech Haaretz Kevodo.
Kadosh, 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 Anaitzo, Melchart, Kevodo, Lamatam Roki, Ameru.
Baruch Kavod Adonai Mimkomo.
Baruch Kavod Adonai Mimkomo, Udivrei Kotchecha, Kutuv Le'amo.
Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Etzion, L'dor Vador, Hallelujah.
Imloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Etzion, L'dor Vador, Hallelujah.
L'dor Vador, Nagigad Galacha, Onetach Netzachim, Kedushachag Nakdish, B'shivcha Elohim, B'pina Lo Yamush Le'olam Vayed. Ki Melech Gadol V'Kadosh Atah. We continue the Amidah silently on page 102. It concludes on page 118, and when you've completed the Amidah, feel free to be seated. You should be praying. You finished the Amidah? Okay, fine. So now what you'll do is you're going to do the Chatzi Kaddish in a second again. Okay, so hold it down. I'll let you know what. Same exact thing, nothing different. Whenever you complete your silent Amidah, please feel free to be seated. If you're still reciting your own silent Amidah, please continue to do so. If you've completed the silent Amidah, we're going to continue with the Chatzi Kaddish led by Robin on page 136. Please rise. Amen. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabban V'rach V'olam U'mei Maya. Brechu. Amen. Okay. All right, now you guys will take off the cover when I get to that part. So stand over there on each side. Okay. The service for taking out the Torah begins on page 138. Go. Vayehi ben so Aaron, vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai v'yafutzu ayvecha, v'yanusu misanecha mipanecha, ki mitzion teitei Torah, ki mitzion teitei Torah, udevar Adonai miYerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Li'amo Yisrael, B'Kedushato. We're reading silently on page 138 in the Hebrew or 139 in the English. Baruch Shmei. We come together on page 140, 3 lines from the bottom of the top paragraph, the first word Bay. Be'anarachit v'lishmei kadisha, kadisha yakira, anaymar tushbechan, yehi kadamach, tetiv dachibai b'oraita, v'tashim mishan l'dilei bai, v'libadecho amach Yisrael, l'tavu chayim v'lishlam. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take the Torah. Can you hold it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In a moment, you're going to bow with the Torah. Can you hold it?
Okay.
You got it? Okay. And then you'll go around. You can go around and get over there, and you'll go through the men's section.
Yeah.
And then you'll hand it to your mother. Okay. Bow first.
Yeah.
Gadlu Adonai iti uramama shemo yaktav. You walk with him. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'agvura v'hatiferet v'hanetza v'hod Ki ho b'shamayim, ay 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 uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hamlacha, v'amid naseh. Lecha lerosh, ramamu Adonai Eloheinu, v'shakavu l'adam raglav kadoshu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu, v'shakavu l'har kadsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Yai dai 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 lai 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 la 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 la, I lie, die, la night, I die, la night, I la 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 la, I la la la, ya la 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 la, I la 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 la, I la 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 la, I la 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 la, I la la la, la 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 la. Lie, lie, la la lie, la 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 lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la la lie. Hand it to your mother. La 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 lie, la lie, lie. La 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 lie, lie. La 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 lie. Lie, lie, la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la la lie, la 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 lie, 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 la lie, la lie, lie, la lie, 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 la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la la lie. La 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 la. You'll put the Torah back when we're doing the God ceremony. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. One more time. Ya la la la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Take a seat. So it's really fantastic having everyone here. This is really like the greatest synagogue I've ever seen in my life. By the way, everyone's invited back to Shabbos, I understand, for services as well. And you should see the kiddush we have in this synagogue. It's really something else. Okay, so now we're going to have a really fantastic presentation. Grandma Phyllis is going to make a presentation of a yad, the pointer for the Torah service that Robin's going to use when he reads the Torah to Robin. So let's do that now. And I think this is really a powerful moment because it's like handing the hand to Robin. That's what's really happening now in this moment. This is what you call the schmaltz moment. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to go back up on the bima. Let's go. Okay. Wait, how do we get? Oh, we go right. Yeah, I keep getting confused here because of the jacuzzi. Where's your father? Okay. Okay. All right, so when we take this off, tilt the microphone towards him.
Yeah.
Where'd your talents go? Oh, he's using it for the thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. here in case anyone needs that. I have that. Okay. We're just having a wardrobe adjustment. So just bear with us. Yeah. You can have them, you can cut the bottom.
He's gonna grow.
Yeah, that's true. We can always get new Ritsu out.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, wait, so we'll have this ready for your mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, it is on page 416. All right, the Torah can be found in the back of your Sidurim on the bottom of page 416. We also have an English translation in the pages that have been handed out to you. And for those of you who are following along online, we have a link for you to follow the Torah reading as well. Okay, did you get rid of the Kohen? Is the Kohen out of the room?
Yeah.
Okay, good. They're both gone. Okay, good. Okay. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. ותגלה ותרמחות עלינו בזמן קרוב ויאכל פליטתנו פליט עמו בית ישראל לכינו חסד ורחם ורצון ונאמר אמן הכהבו גדול הנו כבוד לתורה אין כאן כהן יעמוד משה פוק בן יוסל פאבל ולאה הלוי במקום כהן ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו ואתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם חיים כולכם היום. Okay, so get ready to show where it is.
It should be at the top. We lost it.
Was it moved?
Yeah. It wasn't moved, but we lost it. No, it's somewhere here.
Somehow.
No, it's not.
Yeah, just give us a second. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, right there.
Over there.
Yeah, it just got rolled over.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Okay.
Can you zoom? Turn.
Baruch Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Hanayim Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bacha Bonu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור שלח לך אנשים ויצרו את ארץ כנען אשר אני נותן לבני ישראל איש אחד למטה אותה תשלחו כל נשיא בהם וישלח אותם משה ממדבר פרן על פני כולם אנשים ראשי בני ישראל המה.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'chotenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Tamod Miriam Bat Yehuda Lev V'Rachel Rivka Shenit. No, you just wait on the side next to Johnny.
Somebody else is coming up.
Yeah. All right, now go find the place. Okay, you're going to show her where it is.
Yeah.
This is your one. You actually, this is your second, but this is the second one. Okay, you take.
You'll use this.
Point where it is, Robin. Point where it is, Robin.
Right here?
Okay. You touch him. You kiss him.
Kiss it, and then you'll touch
Touch
it.
it. Kiss.
Kiss.
Okay, now.
And there's the bracha right there.
Okay. Eat him up.
Baruch Hanayim Barach Le'olam Va'ed. Then Baruch Hanayim Barach Le'olam Va'ed. Le'olam. Baruch.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach.
No, Baruch Atah.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu ma'chol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai notan ha'torah.
Amen.
ואלה שמותן למטה ראובן שמו בן זכור, למטה שמעון שפט בן חורי, למטה יהודה כלב בן יפונה, למטה יששכר יגאל בן יוסף, למטה אפרים משה בן נון, למטה בנימין פלטי בן רפו, למטה זבולון גדיאל בן שגיא, למטה יוסף למטה מנשה גדי בן סוסי, למטה דן עמיאל בן גמלי, למטה אשר אשדו בן מיכאל, למטה נפתלי נחלי ובבסי, למטה גד גאואל בן מחי. אלה שמות האנשים אשר שלח משה לתור את הארץ, ויקרא משה לשיה בן נון יהושע.
Kiss it again.
Kiss it. Kiss it where it was.
יהושע.
Kiss.
Baruch.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam natan v'tocheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Yamod, 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 Habachur Habar Mitzvah, Reuven Liam, Ben Yonatan Michael, V'Yehudit Leah, L'Torah, L'Chuppah, U'Masim Tovim, V'Nomar, Amen. That would do the last lines, right?
Baruch Atah Barach.
Baruch Hanayim Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
ושלח אותם משה לתור את ארץ כנען, ויאמר אליהם, עלו זה בנגב, וראיתם את ההר, וראיתם את הארץ מהי, ואת העם היושב עליה החזק הוא אפרי המעט הוא עם רב, ומה הארץ אשר הוא יושב בה טובה היא עם רעה.
Stop. Okay, we're going to hand out the candy now, and in a moment, I'm going to give you the signal, and you'll throw the candy at Robin.
Oh. Uh-oh, here it goes.
Don't say anything. Don't talk. Don't. Now, the truth is, I don't know who's going to be able to hit Robin from this distance, but I will be very impressed.
Come forward.
But I'll be impressed by anyone who can do it. But please wait for the signal because we have to cover the Torah. We don't want the Torah hit. We also don't want Grandma hit. You can hit the rest of us.
Oh, hey. Not yet. I think she wants to eat the candy.
Just wait, Robin.
I'm just finding the spot.
You got your place, Robin? Yeah.
No, if you feel uncomfortable.
No.
Johnny's taking pictures.
Look at the camera. Smile.
Don't talk at all, okay?
These Marcia.
I think we're ready to resume. All right, we're going to resume now. If everyone can listen carefully to Robin completing the last few lines of the Torah.
ומה הערים אשר הוא יושב בהנה המחנים מצרים ומה הארץ השמנה היא אמרזה יש בה עצים אין והתעזקתם וקחתם מפרי הארץ וימים בקורי ענבים ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו
Say it again.
Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu et Torato, emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Now.
Mazel tov.
Okay.
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Ye'elanu, 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 u'lechol Yisrael, ye'elanu, ye'elanu. Oh, Lechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu. Oh, Lechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu. Oh, Lechol Yisrael. Okay, you guys can sit down and let's have Judy come up.
Yeah.
And maybe you can get your tallis back. I think. Get your tallis back. Okay, ceasefire.
Years in the making.
The only one that got chocolate.
Who's gonna?
Oh, yeah. I'm chocolate.
Okay.
Watch the chocolate.
Okay, if everyone can find seats.
No, because if somebody's walking, they're going to slide on the chocolate. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Marlene's going back, right?
No, you got to go.
Wow. You all right?
Okay, and they're going to take care of each other? Okay.
You need help?
Brian can come help them. No, he's slippery shoes.
Robin, let me fix your tefillin.
Should I tell Brian to go help them?
Yeah.
Brian, can you help them? Can you help them?
So nice.
Don't I my speech first? Is my speech first?
Here, let's just give them a second to sit down.
Are we covering the Torah now?
It's all covered. Okay, come over here when you go between your parents. Okay, so Mazel Tov, you did a fantastic job. Big hand for Robin. And Robin, I don't just think you did a great job in terms of the Torah reading and leading the service, although you did. I think the big thing that we should all note about Robin is just the way you carried yourself, not just today, but really this entire year. I think anyone who's been spending time with a young man or a young woman who had to do a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah in the context of Corona, I think they know that it's really a bit of a challenge in life. Obviously not in comparison to all the other challenges that we had over the course of this year, but nonetheless, it was something that you're really looking forward to for a long time, and it's not exactly the way we envisioned it. And then, you were finally planning and looking, and everything was going to look all right. And I think when you finally said, oh, wow, we're all vaccinated, and it's going to look a little bit better, and you're expecting a lovely Memorial Day, you weren't expecting your mother to be shivering in back of you with her teeth chattering on this Memorial Day. But the thing is, as your mother said to me, last night on the phone, you know what? it's much bigger than we ever expected. When we knew that this was going to be a Corona bar mitzvah, only 6 months ago, we thought maybe we were all going to be on Zoom and we weren't going to have anything at all. And I think, what your mother was really saying is to really appreciate the brachot, the blessings that we have in this world. And really, you as a family just have so many blessings. You are a wonderful family. You just love each other so much. Your brother Sasha loves you so much. You know what your brother Sasha said to me just before the bar mitzvah started? He said, I love my brother Robin so much, and I think he's not going to mess up at all. I think I don't think he's going to have any anxiety, and I think he's going to just do fine in the end. That's such a vote of confidence, from your brother Sasha. But no, in all seriousness, I really think it's just a statement about who you guys are as a family, who you are, Robin. You're really just such a mensch, and you really just did a fantastic job. And I saw you just grow so much over the course of this year. And that's really what a bar mitzvah is about. It's not about this ceremony. There's no such thing as having a bar mitzvah. It's not really a bar mitzvah ceremony. It's becoming a bar mitzvah. That's what it really means, that you're becoming an adult in the eyes of the Jewish community. And that's what this bracha that we're going to do in a moment is really all about. It's a bracha that says you're now responsible as a Jewish adult. And I'm going to read it in Hebrew first before your parents say it for real. And then I'm going to translate it for everyone. And then I'm going to explain to everyone what it means. The bracha that Robin's parents are going to say in a moment goes like this. Baruch sheptarani ma'ansho shalazeh. Blessed is the one who has freed me from the punishment due to this boy. Right, I get two reactions whenever I, translate this blessing. Either I get stone cold silence or I get nervous laughter. I see I got both today, right? So let me explain this blessing. I know most of you are saying, Rabbi Kalb, that's a horrible blessing. Can't you come up with a more beautiful blessing for a bar mitzvah? It is a beautiful blessing because what it is it's the blessing of responsibility. Until this moment in time, Robin was a minor in terms of Jewish law. As we go forward from this moment, he is now an adult in the eyes of the Jewish community and in the eyes of Jewish law. Anything he did, right or wrong, before this moment was his parents' responsibility. As we go forward from this moment, it's now going to be his responsibility. So are you ready for this moment?
I hope so.
I hope so. We're looking for a stronger answer here.
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Hallelujah, amen. Okay, so I'm going to repeat. I'm going to say the words. You're going to repeat after me. And you know what also I'm going to ask you to do? As you say the bracha, just after you say the bracha, I want the two of you to take a step back. Because I think what we're doing really in this moment is we're not stepping away completely from our children. We're just taking a little step back and giving a little bit of responsibility to our children, right? A little responsibility. It's kind of like the concept of tzimtzum in Kabbalah, right? Where God steps back from humanity and to give humanity responsibility, but God's still in the picture. So if God can step back and still be in the picture, parents can step back and still be in the picture as well. Okay? So repeat after me. Baruch.
Baruch.
Sheptarani. Me'ansho. Shalazeh. Step back. Amen. No, the two of you step back. You step forward. There you go. And now we'll also listen to the Shechiyanu. Baruch.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
Amen. And I just have one other bracha for you, Robin, and it's a Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech Et Ruvain Liam Ben Yonatan Michael v'Yehudit Leah Asher Allah Hayom Likrat HaTorah Leot HaBa'at Ratzon L'Chayot Chayim Ru'yim Leven Yisrael Yehi Elohim Imo Bayamim Habayim Kasher Haya Imo Miyom Hivdal Va'ad Hina Yiratzomi lifnei Elohei Hashamayim legadlo b'riyot haguf v'hanefesh b'tfuna uv'anatavat chen ba'avat habriot be'emuna uvoz ruach v'yimsachem v'sechel tov be'enei Elohim v'adam v'nomar Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, bless Reuven, Liam, Ben Yonatan, Michael, Yehudet, Leah, Robin Myers, who has come forward this day to the reading of the Torah in recognition of his desire to live a worthy Jewish life. May God continue to be with him in the life before him, just as God has been with him from the day of his birth until now. May it be God's will that he continue to grow in body and spirit, in wisdom and humility, in love of all creatures, in faithfulness and courage, and may he always be regarded as gracious and wise in the eyes of God and all humanity. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadel v'yitkadesh shemei Rabbah. Amen. B'alma divra kirutei, b'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon, u'b'yomechon, u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'galav bizman karib, v'yemeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, V'olam lo me'omaya, yipar v'yishtabach, v'yipar v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shmei t'gudisha brichu, le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, v'shbechata, v'nechemata, damiram b'yoma, v'yimiru. Amen. Yamod Hagbat Hamod Galilit. Okay, this is your big moment. You ready? Okay. I'm going to move everything. I'm going to just move the chair for you. Are you ready? Well, then how are you going to sit down? You want to pivot? Can you pivot? Okay, fine. Yeah. I'll hand it to you after you. V'zot ha'Torah asher tzam Moshe livnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe eitz chayimi l'machazikim ba v'tom chayameusha eitz chayimi l'machazikim ba v'tom chayameusha Terach darchei V'chol netivot shalom, terach darchei noam. V'chol netivot shalom, ay ay ay. Da da ay 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 ay. Ay da 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 da. Ay da 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 da. Ya 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 ya. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya 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 da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. And da 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 da. Ya na 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 na. Ya da 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 na 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 na. Lift it up. Hallelujah. Page 148. Yahweh Shem Adonai. You walk with him. Kiniska Shemo Levado Hodo Al Eretz V'Shamayim V'Yarem Keren Liamo Tila L'Chas. Okay, but he's okay too? He's okay. Okay, well, everything's okay. Take two. Okay, you hold the Torah. Okay. You sure? You sure? You sure?
Just walk with him behind.
Okay. Yahweh Shem Adonai Kidiskav Shemo Levado Hodu. You're gonna get the Torah from him. Hodu al Eretz V'Shamayim Vayarem Kerem Liamo Tila L'Chol Chasidav Livnei Yisrael Am Karavo. Hallelujah. Ay, 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 ay. We're reading silently. Yai dai 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 la 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 yai dai 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 la 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 Lie, lie, la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la la lie, la 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 lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la la lie, la 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 lie, la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la lie, la 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 lie. Lie, lie, la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, la 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 lie, 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 la lie, la lie, lie, la lie, 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 la la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la lie, la 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 lie, lie, la lie, la 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 la. Bottom of page 148 of Nucha Yomar. Ki lekachtav natati lachem Torati al tazavu Eitz chayimi lamachazikim ba V'tomcheha meusha Diracheha Dacheno Am B'chol Netivoteha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Lecha V'na Shuva Chadeshamenu Kikedem. All right, now we're going to listen to some words of Torah from Robin. Let's all listen carefully. You can be seated. Make sure you have the microphone and speak right into it.
Check. Okay. First, before I start, I'd like to thank you for coming to this very special day. It really means a lot, whether we are in Zoom or in person. I'm still excited that you could come. Now let me begin and share my Parsha and what it symbolizes to me. Parshat Shalach tells the story of Moshe sending out a group of Mergalim spies to survey the promised land before the Israelites enter. 13:3. Their mission is to give a full report of the current conditions of Israel. They were also tasked with bringing back some of the fruit. What made it special? This was necessary so that Moshe could understand how to approach bringing the people into the homeland. From a very basic reading of the Torah, one can see that God commands Moshe to send the spies. Nonetheless, one also has a sense that God is not really behind it either. Why is this? God's problem with the notion of sending the spies is that it shows the people's lack of faith in God. The God that just took them out of Egypt. The God that just split the Red Sea. Furthermore, it not only demonstrates a lack of faith in God, but a lack of faith in themselves and the Jewish future. And the future of the Jewish people. Look, 10 of the spies come back with a negative report, and a few come back with a positive, 1327. All the spies said that the land was filled with milk and honey, which means that the land was very fruitful and had many resources. However, all the spies except Caleb said that the Israelites would not be successful in reestablishing Israel as their land, 1331. It might have been too overwhelming for them to think about establishing the land of Israel. They said that the people who inhabited the lands were giants and they were mere grasshoppers. We can not attack these people. They are stronger than we are. We seem like grasshoppers. 1331. The next day, convinced that the challenge was completely beyond them, they expressed regret that they ever had embarked on the Exodus and said, "Let us appoint a leader and go back to Egypt." 14:4. This negative report by these spies is considered one of the most terrible sins in all of Jewish history, one of the most tragic in the entire Torah. What was so problematic about this negative report by the spies? And what can it teach us today about ourselves and the Jewish people? These are questions I'm going to explore now. Don't let fear win. Perhaps the spies gave a negative report because they feared the Achaemites and the other inhabitants. There's nothing wrong with being afraid, however, they chose to let their fears take over and affect how they behaved and what they chose to say and do. Due to their fear, they lied to make the Achaemites sound even more fierce than they actually were. It was their hope that the fear they shared coming from the negative report would catch on and no one would choose to enter the land. This parsha shows us that fear can cloud your judgment, and this is an important thing to keep in mind, especially if you're a leader. Fear can keep you from making good decisions that can have long-term effects on your own life and others. The Israelites stayed in the wilderness for 40 years as a result of being afraid. When in your life have you felt like a grasshopper? Was that for fear controlling your life? The spies assumed that the others felt the same way they did about themselves. We were like grasshoppers in our own eyes, so we were in theirs. 1333. Caleb, who was one of the spies, was different. He might have also been afraid, and he might have understood that this was going to be hard. But he believed that with faith in God and faith in themselves, anything was possible for the Israelites. Therefore, he gave a positive report. He was hopeful and carried by his faith. The late Jonathan Sacks shared with us that having hope is part of what makes us Jews. He shares, optimism is the belief that things will get better. Hope is the belief that we can make things better. No Jew knowing Jewish history can be an optimist, but no Jew worthy of the name abandons hope. The most pessimistic of the prophets, from Amos to Jeremiah, were still voices of hope. By their defeatism, the spies failed as leaders and as Jews. To be a Jew and it is to be an agent of hope, says Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. I've been known for my positive outlook since I was young, and I believe we need a positive attitude now about getting through life, for everyone to be vaccinated in the belief that life can get better and we can heal as a country from racism and anti-Semitism. I've seen this happen with apartheid in South Africa and how the whites feared the native people, but how healing was possible too, and the country never gave up hope. Have faith in yourself. This parsha means a lot to me because it teaches an important lesson, which is to continue to be truthful in everything I do, unlike the spies, including to be true to myself. It reminds me that no matter what challenges I am facing, having a belief in myself will help me get through anything. What does having faith in myself look like? It means to know my limits and know what I can do, and to also know that I can do a lot of things that I put my mind to. And that includes doing my part to make the world a better place. One of the things that has stuck with me is how Rabbi Jonathan Sacks says that one of the differences between Judaism and other religions is that while others seek to lift people to heaven, Judaism seeks to bring heaven down to earth. In this parsha, God wanted the Israelites to create a model society. God wanted us to heal the world, fight injustice, feed the hungry, work against hate, and help the sick. I've tried to do my part in that through my Thank You project and selecting the organizations I chose to give back to focused on youth in need. Thank you all for helping to support this goal. Faith the Jewish future. Lastly, this parsha raises some interesting questions about how individuals have faith and confidence in themselves, but also in something larger than themselves, a greater purpose, a country, its leaders, God, and the future of its people. Interestingly, the parsha ends with the mitzvah of tzitzit, 1537. The mitzvah of tzitzit is supposed to remind us of the exodus from Egypt and all the mitzvot in the Torah, which in turn about the moral code of the Jewish people and what connects the past to the future. Now with my new talit that my grandma from Israel got me and my uncle Frank from Israel brought me from this week, I feel even more connected to my responsibility to be an active part in the Jewish community, even after this day. Again, thank you all for coming, to my friends and family, and the people from the live stream from around the country and the world. It means so much to me. I'm so grateful for my grandparents, aunts, and uncles, and cousins, from Granny and Silly Frank, who traveled from Israel, to Herschel and Charlene, and Sherry and David and Saul, who live streamed from South Africa, to Larry and Alex, who live streamed from London, and to Dorit, Shiraz, and Daniel, who live streamed also from Israel. I wish my namesake, the late Grandpa Robin, could have been here too. I would like to thank Grandma Phyllis, and Papa Marty for coming, even though you only came from Queens, and Debbie, Brian, and Emma, who are also here with me today. Thank you to my brother, Sasha, for always being there for me during the hardest of times, especially this year during COVID. Thank you for my classmates for joining the live stream. I'm grateful for my teachers at the Hansanish Community Day School for giving me the foundation of Hebrew and Judaic studies. Thank you to Rabbi Kel for all the teaching time together over the last year and helping me to be the best that I am today. I'm so thankful I've gotten to work with you for my Bar Mitzvah. I'd also like to thank my dad for the endless hours of learning the service and Hebrew. And I would like to thank my mom for helping me with this Devar Torah. My mom and my dad always find a way to help me and Sasha no matter what the circumstances are. They have made our lives so much better and happier. I'll never forget this year, not because of COVID, but because of them. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Okay, if Sasha can come on up. Okay, let's turn it around. Okay, Sasha's going to bring us home. On the side.
You must make sure you're speaking to the mic. The page change here.
Okay, page 150, Ashrei.
Ashrei Yoshvei Betecha.
All right, we're reading silently on page 150 now. Read silently with me. Okay. I'll do it together with the three of us.
Okay.
Like the Three Musketeers.
Robin did really good.
It's cold.
I don't think that's the only reason.
Top of page 152. V'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata v'ad olam. Hallelujah. Second paragraph, page 152. L'natzeach mizmor leDavid. Bottom page 152. Adonai Oshia Malkianenu V'Yom Kareinu. Top of page 154. Uval Etzion Goel. V'ata Kadosh Yoshev Tilo Yisrael V'Karzel Zev V'Amar Kadosh 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 Adonai Tzavot Meretz Kevodo. Vatiseni ruach v'Hashem Echad Kol Rosh Gadol Baruch Kavod Adonai Mimkamo. Bottom page 154. top of page 156. Adonai Chafetz L'man Sigdo Yagdil Torah V'Yadir. Bottom of page 156. Please rise for the Kaddish Shalem. Yitkadel v'yikadesh shemei rabba v'yamad divrah kirute v'yamichmachute b'chayecha v'yamachon v'chaytecho be'Yisrael b'gala v'zman kariv v'yemeru amen. Yesh mei rabba mevarach v'olam umei omaya yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'tramam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudusha brichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata d'amiram b'yama v'yemeru amen. Titkebel todon dachon v'chom b'yishmaya v'yemru amen. Yesh lamum shemaya v'chayim alinu v'kol Yisrael v'yemeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'yemeru imru amen. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu Yisrael yaseh shalom Shalom aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom Shalom aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom Shalom aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael. Aleinu, page 158.
Aleinu l'shabach l'Adon HaKol.
Okay, but reading silently on page 158. Reading silently on page 60. Kakadu b'toratecha Adonai li'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayomahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Shir Shoyom, page 162. Top of the page, the Psalm for Sunday. Hayom Yom Rishon B'Shabbat. Oh, the Psalm for Monday, correction. Feels like a Sunday. Page 162, the bottom of the page. Hayom Yom Sheni. Eloheinu Yanagenu Almut. Page 160, Mourner's Kaddish. Let's listen to Fallen in battle on this day of Memorial Day. Yitkadel v'yitkadesh shemei rabbah v'yalmad divrah kirutei v'yamich malchutei b'chayechon v'yamachon v'chayedecho beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kariv v'yemeru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach li'olam umei omaya Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata ta'miram b'yalma v'yemeru amen. Yehei shlam araba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemeru amen. If everyone can find seats, Judy and Johnny are going to share some words with us now.
No, you gotta stand here.
You can go sit with your grandfather.
I thought I was gonna,
You're going to come back for Adon Olam, but you'll sit.
I can say.
Yeah, but there's nowhere for you to sit, so
Okay.
go down. Do you want to sit here? That's the speech. That's her speech.
proud of you. Thank you all for joining us. We're honored to have grandparents and husband with us, Grandma Marty, Grandpa Marty, Grandma Peter, Sister Fred, and Billy, and Brian, I'm so moved that Reverend Cal, who married me at the age of 15 years has led Robin so well. And learning this year, we're so grateful for all the time and care that you're making so special. And I want to thank Johnny for being such an amazing father and husband to me during this year and just leading up to this this milestone in our family's life. I couldn't have asked for a better partner for my life. So I'm so grateful for you. It's amazing to be here with you all, whether it's in person or on the live stream. It's been so hopeful and positive during this challenging time to plan for this Bar Mitzvah. To celebrate with you here feels like turning the corner. So let's turn the corner together on one of Robin's most favorite things of the moment, which is skateboarding. We have some fans here with us. 4 weeks ago, Robin was skateboarding after Lag BaOmer with a few of his friends at the piers in Brooklyn. There was an afternoon rainstorm, and Robin fell on the board down some steps. He called me and said he was hurt, and he cut the corner of his eyebrow. Let's just say I wasn't too happy about that, but I didn't panic. His friends were amazing and helped him while he waited for me. Long story short, he was lucky and only needed a few stitches. His first ones ever. I don't know how he made it this long without having stitches, but he got them in a few weeks before he hit 13. On the way out of the doctor's office, minutes after being stitched up, Robin got on the skateboard before we even took 10 steps. No, let's make that 5. Being the Jewish mother that I am, I asked him if that was a good idea and almost told him to stop when he said, I wanted to prove to myself that I could get back on. I agreed it was okay because there was clearly more going on here. Then he said, I want to progress and get better. So that means I'll have to fall a lot first. It's about perseverance. And I thought, are you really only 12? That sums Robin up right there. And at the time, he said the accident would be worked into his speech. Sorry, Robin, your mom took the story. Robin, you teach me so much every day about perseverance, but more than that, about resilience. On the way home from the doctor's office that day, it felt like coming full circle from when Robin was born. It's special that he's doing his Bar Mitzvah at our home in Hillsdale, but we celebrated his very first birthday right here 12 years ago. And I always envisioned having his Bar Mitzvah right here too, in nature, on this land, which was a haven for us during COVID, but spiritual home outside of our. They say you become more of who you are over time, and Robin was born to be resilient, and he's been showing this to us since he came home from the hospital after his first trip to South Africa when he was 9 months old and had to have surgery. Get this, he learned to do some amazing things while recovering from his surgery. And you'll hear more about that in Johnny's speech because we are a family and we have some same moments that are special to us. So you'll hear more about that later. Even as an infant, he wanted to progress. And as our family saying goes, he never gives up. I told him this story for the first time on the way home from the skateboarding accident. Once Robin sets his mind to something, he gives it his all. So resilience for him is really an act of becoming more than the conventional sense of overcoming. Well, it wasn't always easy to be on the verge of becoming a teen during COVID. Robin, you made the best of it. You're a role model for all of us because you could walk on the sunny side of the road. When you had your bar mitzvah at school, your teachers described you as authentic, connected, intentional, that you had a vision for your day and took it seriously, that you leave your ego at the door and would rather learn from feedback to improve and change rather than not hear it at all. Robin, I'm so, so proud of you. The son, the brother, the friend, the grandson, the nephew, the cousin, the young man you have now become on your bar mitzvah. You're one of the most empathic people I know. You care how others feel around you and have that uncanny intuition to know what can make people feel like they belong and are included. That's a special gift and an unusual one at 13. You're a sensitive soul. And even right before Robin gave his Devar Torah, he asked me if there was one part of a quote that he was giving, whether it would be offensive or insensitive to people who weren't Jewish that were here listening to it. It was just the most incredible moment. You've been called a natural leader since you were very young, whether at school or camp, and a humble leader at that. What I love about you is that you encourage others to grow alongside you, even your brother. The value of anival, humility, is often described as one of the most important values within the Jewish tradition, particularly for positions of leadership. Going back to your Devar Torah, how appropriate your Parsha is for you. It's the humble confidence that Caleb showed that made him stand out, and the same is true for you. At the same time, as another family motto goes, never doubt the Robin, you have a keen sense of what's right. And that goes for always being right with directions when we're driving, but more importantly, to your values, your moral compass. Robin, you contain multitudes. You're passionate about learning in all different ways, and you never turn down a challenge. You're a snowboarder, a skateboarder, a basketball player, a tennis player, a horse rider, and almost black belt in Taekwondo. I wish I had the courage and confidence to have tried half the things that you've done at this age when I was young. You're a reader, a thinker, a music lover, a news and politics junkie like your dad, and a public speaker. And you're so at home in the outdoors. That's where you're most free to explore. We're so glad that you gave us the opportunity to get to know you through connecting us to your interests, through giving back to the wonderful nonprofit organizations you chose. And just as you have thanked people who have supported you to get here today in your Thank You Project, we are grateful for you and wish you all the adventure, love, health, prosperity, and peace you deserve in the next phase of your journey to becoming an adult man. May you take our last family motto, never doubt the Robin, to heart yourself and carry it into your own life. That alone, Robin, my dear son, who made me a mother, will get you far. I love you so much.
Before I begin speaking to Robin, for those of you here who are not into self-congratulation, please give a round of applause to the person next to you, because all of you came from far, sitting in the hole to be here and with Robin, and it's very special, and we thank you all. My dear Robin, this is a speech that I've imagined delivering since you were around 8 months old. And yet it took me until just a few days ago before I started to write it. And me, being who I am, started to do some serious navel gazing as to why it took me so long. After all, I had 12 years and 4 months since my first thought about this speech to put. But I think I have figured out what triggered that first image in my mind of delivering the speech was an incident in the hospital in January of 2009. We had just returned from South Africa. On the plane ride home, you were deathly sick. You could not sleep. You could not sit. You were inconsolable. When we got home, things went from bad to worse. By the time we got to hospital, you were so weak that you literally did not have the strength to close your eyelids. You slept with them open. Things, to be honest, were touch and go. Now, you may not have realized, but but you may have realized by now that Mom and I are not always the most calm humans that one might have. During the first day at the Children's Hospital, we were out of control and spiraling further. And then both of us saw you in this awful hospital crib, and you lifted your head and looked at us. And you had the most serene look on your face that I'd ever seen or have seen since. And immediately you calmed me down. You told me with that look that it would be okay. And it was. Equanimity. The next time I thought about the speech was just 1 month later. The illness that precipitated that visit to hospital required remediation by way of surgery. When you came home from the second of 2 of these surgeries, you still had to wear a drip. You did not know what it was, and it must have been awfully uncomfortable for you. But you did not complain. Instead, you were curious. It was far away from you, and you wanted to know what it was. So you used the fact that you had a drip attached to you as an opportunity to explore. The very first time you crawled was for the purpose of examining that drip. Curiosity. How to use monkey bars. You could not do it. It was summer. You decided to go every single day to the monkey bars in the park at the end of our street and practice until you got it right. Your small, beautiful hands literally bled, but you did not stop until you succeeded. Perseverance. My next image of the speech was one day when I was telling a story about the connection between Chinese and Japanese alphabet to someone while at dinner here in Hillsdale. You just listened until the end, then piped up that I was completely wrong on the facts and told us what indeed the connection between the two is and the history behind them. You were accurate, and I never had the slightest idea that you knew anything about it. Thirst for knowledge. There have been many other times during your life where delivering the speech has popped into my mind. But I want to mention one time in our lives when it always pops up. Mom and I have made a rule that in order for you and your wonderful brother to understand what relationships are, you should witness the whole relationship, warts and all. We don't fight often, but when we do not hide it from you or Sasha. Your response to these fights is always the same. You help us step outside the moment. You make me see the triviality of the dispute in the context of the wonderfulness of love that is the relationship that I have with your mother and we have as a family. And just have a way that changes the entire dynamic. Longing for peace. You do the same, by the way, when Sasha and I argue. You take his side because you feel his pain, empathy, and your moral sense is ever present. You never miss an opportunity to know more and let others know about what is right. Indeed, today, if it was at all possible, you would have worn a Nelson Mandela-style shirt at the ceremony to remind you of your hero and who he was. A man who commanded rather than demanded respect from his adversaries in the most difficult of circumstances. How? By showing them how to lift themselves up and be better people, simply by way of example. You do the same. Tikkun olam. And this, my dearest wonderful Robin, is the reason that it took me so long to write this speech. Because you have taught me so very, very much. And none of what you have taught me has been in words. Your teachings are quiet, unobtrusive, and of action. You are a gift of the best kind. The more anybody gets to know you, the more they will learn from you. And unless they stop and take real notice, They won't even know that they've learned it from you, because you are not one. You are not one to tell them. I love you with all my heart.
Just stand here.
Okay, Sasha is going to lead us in the Adon Olam, page 12. Adon Olam Hashem, B'terem kol yitzir, V'yinasa b'chesed, Azay melech shemo, V'yacharei kichlotam, Levado yemot noam, V'hu haya, V'hu hoga, V'hu yiyeh v'tzipah, V'hu echad v'yemshir, Lam shilo v'yachzira, V'lireishi v'litzachri, V'ha'azah, V'hu eli v'chayim, V'tor chevli v'yitzara, Unisi umanesi, Menakosi v'yomecha, V'yadoashi, V'yedishan v'yahiva, V'yemruvi v'yati, Adonai li, V'lo ira, Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
And I have a feeling everyone wants a hot cup of coffee.
Oh, thank you much for old lady. What?
I saw it on the kitchen.
I have it right
It was on the kitchen counter. I thought.
Mazel tov. I'm putting my mask on even though I've been vaccinated just because I.